Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. Um, um, yeah, how do we start this day? Hmm. Well, I think in the same way we started yesterday, and as we say in software development, it's not a bug, it's a feature. So today we are connecting the dots with Sakharoff number 135. Mantra of Love for Everyday Life, Confession of a Danish Poet. And I want to tell you a little story. That's how I came to Denmark. And it was in '89. I fell in love with Denmark, and also I um, um, I fell in love with a woman. That's right. Um, I came to Denmark in '89, and I fell in with this woman in 1990. In the end of this year, when I came back, I traveled to Israel, lived a little bit there, and it was there I started to work in the end of 1990, helping old people to actually kickstart kickstart their day in the morning. So I worked privately for some old people in their 80s, in their 90s, in some particular area of suburbs of Copenhagen. And then I started working for the municipality. And I worked this way. That was my first job. 1.5 years I was working this way. I learned a lot about Denmark. And one of the things that I learned, that this particular area where I worked, called Vangede, was an area that was described very much in kind of song by a Danish poet named Dan Turèll. Dan Turèll. And I started these elderly people. They, one after the other, they told me about this poet, and I started kind of. I was learning Danish, and I started getting these books in the library and reading some of his books, which both was poetry, lyrics, and um, it was like essays, also in novels. I really loved it, and that's why I want to present you guys for this poet, because one of his um, lyrical works that is pretty well known in Denmark is called um, um, I Like Everyday Life. I like everyday life the most. And that's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about those lines every single day when I get up in the morning. And I want to show you um, this poet. I want to introduce you to this poet named Dan Turèll. That's him. And when I wake up, I have a mantra. And this mantra is to go into the kitchen and to open um, the door of a drawer with the glasses. And I took this picture this morning just to show you the sight that inspires me in the morning. Here it is. That's how it looks like. When I open the drawer in the kitchen, I see kind of the light of a light bulb, like somehow mirroring in this glasses. And that inspires me very much. This sight inspires me very much. Call it crazy, but that's my morning mantra. I do the same thing every morning. And when I look at this, I smile. First, the smile is kind of a artificial smile, like, but then the smile goes into my body, and it's a real smile, warm smile, like this one. I relax. I look at those glasses and I say, okay, this is another day. I love this day. I like everyday life. And I like all the things that I'm doing during the day. I get up early in the morning. I have my morning live at 5:40 to Russia and then 6:20 in English. I love what I'm doing. I love my Q&As that I do 3 hours a day. And I like the lives that I'm doing together with Pablo for our oncology groups. And I like writing some thoughts. I like researching some science. I like communicating to people on our Instagram. Well, I like playing music with Karsten when he comes here with my partner. And that's why I really love everyday life. And this is an interesting feeling because it kickstarts my day. It kickstarts my energy. I like being ready to go into the woods with my dog when my morning lives are through at about 6:45. Also when it rains, also when it snows. Why do I like it? Well, because when I stand in the woods, I have a mantra. And the mantra is, I relax, I look straight forward, it's completely black, and this feeling comes to me, the feeling that I have time. I have time to live my life, and the time is right now. And I am kind of forming my life by sensing that I have the time right now. And it gives me goosebumps very much, like every single time I stand in the woods. I get these goosebumps of being alone and having time in my hands. If you remember, there was a song of Rolling Stones, I think it's Time is on My Hands. Yeah, time is on my hands. So I want to present you, I want to present this lyrics, this poetry of Dan Turrell. And first I want to tell you, a couple of lines in Danish, so you sense kind of the sound of Danish, the sound of the lines written by this poet. Yeah, that's exactly what I want to do. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Hverdagen, Dan Turrell. Jeg holder af hverdagen. Mest af alt holder jeg af hverdagen. Den langsomme opvågning til den kendte udsigt, der alligevel ikke er helt så kendt. Familiens på en gang fortrolige og efter søvnens fjernhed fremmede ansigter. Morgenkyssene. Postens smæld i entréen. Kaffelugten. Den rituelle vandring til købmanden og om hjørnet efter mælk, cigaretter og aviser. Jeg holder af hverdagen. Selv gennem alle dens irritationer. Bussen, der skramler udenfor på gaden. Telefonen, der uafladeligt forstyrrer det smukkeste, blankeste, stillestående ingenting i mit akvarium. Fuglene, der pipper fra deres bur. Den gamle nabo, der ser forbi. Ungen, der skal hentes i børnehaven, netop så man er kommet i gang. I like everyday life. I like everyday life the most. Slow awakening to a familiar sight, which is still not so well known. The family is immediately familiar, and after a long sleep, other people's faces. Morning kisses. The postman slammed at the entrance. The smell of coffee. A ritual walk to the grocery store around the corner for milk, cigarettes, newspapers. I like everyday life, even with all of its annoyances. The bus rumbles outside on the street. The phone that constantly interferes with the most beautiful, shiny, stagnant nothing in my aquarium. Birds chirp from the cage. Old neighbor walks by. The child is about to be taken to the kindergarten just when you are trying to concentrate. Constant shopping list in the pocket of my jacket, with some fixed requirements for meat, potatoes, coffee, and liver. A little bless at the local pub when everyone meets with shopping bags and wipes the sweat from their forehead. I like everyday life. The agenda, also the biological one, inevitable procedures in the bath and the toilet. A must-have procedure of razor, letters to be written, paying a rental fee, a voting of a checkbook, dishes, recognition of the discontinuation of the production of diapers or adhesive tape. I like everyday life, not much different from the party and flowers, tents and all the din, the must-dos with all the remnants of its slag. So much unsaid and approximate, weaving and then hanging in the air, like a kind of a mental hangover. Only daily morning coffee will cure. Nice enough with parties. The morning is the whole place for euphoria. Let 1,000 pearls bubble. But what is happiness? Then lie in the bed of rest and everyday life to a well-known and not so known opinion. I like everyday life. I love it. I just can't express enough how I like everyday life. I love everyday life inexpressibly. Well, that's a piece of poetry by Dan Turrell, and the translation was by Google Translate with some small changes from Misha Sakharoff, which was not enough because in a native language, in Danish, it's like it's full of feelings, hard to express, hard to translate poetry. Yeah, it is, especially when you don't give enough time to it. So basically, what it is, I remember this poetry basically every day when I get up in the morning, and sometimes getting up in the morning, yes, sometimes it's with energy and energized, as I used to say, I feel energized, absolutely. But some days are also the days that remind me of this view. I remember it was one of my earliest rememberings, kind of my childhood. My father bought this ladder car, which was a kind of a copy of Fiat, Italian Fiat, Um, so he bought it in 1970, this car. So I was like 4 years old, and what I remember the mornings where my father was starting the car with this um, like you remember, I don't know, this is like a metal thing that you put into you used to do it with the old cars when the motor doesn't start and you want to kickstart the motor. Basically, this is a kind of a starter, metal like pipe with this shape. So you put it in the motor and then you do this. It's like it starts working. And sometimes the day is like that. And having things, having mantras, having some procedures in your day that are functioning like this Kickstarter, like this starter thing, they are good to have. And for me, it's looking at the glasses, um, those glasses that I showed you. Okay, that's the first thing that I do every morning. It reminds me of this piece of poetry from Dan Turrell, and it helps me. That's for sure. Helps me to kickstart my day. And remember, guys, we need to have those moments. We need to have those moments where we understand that life is about those moments. There's nothing else. Those moments are life. We need to have them every day. Some days are easy to kickstart, some days are not. And we have to have basically the starter. We have to have some instruments to bring it back to the understanding that this very moment is life. Well, maybe it's a simple thought, but nevertheless, it's a deep one. I believe so. So that's it. It's just I just wanted to remind you that we have to have a mantra of love for our everyday life. And this confession of a Danish poet is just a means of reminding and remembering ourselves about that. So today we have one of those things that I'm looking forward to, that I love with my everyday life. That's the meeting with you guys on Thursdays. And it's going to be as it used to happen at 1 p.m. Copenhagen time, which is 12 p.m. in London. Yeah. So I look forward to see you guys, and I look forward to see many of you and to talk about life. Looking so much forward. Wishing you a great Thursday. See you soon.